We are going to cover this respiratory system microanatomy. So there are two topics that need to be covered in this histology sections on this thoracic segment, which is one is from the trachea, one is for the lung. That means we are going to see these organs in our dissection labs, and then we are going to see the microstructures of those structures which is relevant for us to understand the microanatomy of this particular organ here. So in a respiratory system, there are two things we are going to focus here. Is that one is the tube, we call them as the trachea, which has a particular caliber and particular length, breadth, and has a particular texture. The microsections of that, we are going to see that what we are going to expect it to see inside to it, and then we are going to see in the microscope itself how this particular things actually looks like. Other thing is that the lung or this soft tissue, which is known as this respiratory element, or this the pulmonary tissues. So that particular element also have some kind of characteristic feature that we are going to see that should be having. Looking at this particular lung as a gross, having lobes, fissure, etc., etc., that thing we have seen. And again, if you cut down that particular piece in the smaller sections and see under microscope how this particular uh, features of that particular characteristic feature of that particular lung will be visible in microscope or under microscope, that what we are going to study. So we have two dedicated sessions for this. One is for this one and other one for this particular pulmonary histology as well on a second or next day onwards. So we talk about this particular trachea, the windpipe on this session today. Then when you go to see this particular structure, and once we see this particular histology structure on microscope, we have to just like make a schematic drawing and understanding what you are drawing and label it properly whenever you are doing it, and assume that it is your exam question that you have to draw a schematic picture of that particular structure what you are seeing. There are long question, short question based on these sections of these questions are coming. So in this particular practical question and as well as theory, we are getting the histology questions. So you have to prepare both ways, understanding this particular microanatomy, identifying it with the characteristic feature that it has, and as well as should be able to answer this particular theory question as well. So talking about this particular respiratory system to this trachea. Now we already have seen this particular trachea present as a mediastinal structure. That particular trachea starts from below this particular voice box of cricoid cartilage and ends in the sternal angle, splitting into right and left bronchus. So we are going to talk about this particular tube which is extending between this particular neck region, starting in the neck region and entering to this particular thorax, entering through this thoracic inlet, and then splitting into this particular two divisions at the sternal angle. Then it has got subdivisions which is coming and following. Now whenever you are going to study this particular organ, you have to just like make small micro sections. In the tubal structures, whenever you are studying, there are some layers that we are going to address. So inside out or outside inside, we are going to study these particular layers which this particular organ has. So whenever you are studying this trachea, we are just going to see this particular trachea from inside out, like what are the layers that is most inside to this particular tube is there and most outside tube, and what the feature that particular tube exists on it. Now this particular tube that we are going to study, the trachea, have a special feature having this particular tube has a skeletal tissue embedded to it, which is known as cartilages. So this cartilage which is present embedded within this particular tissue itself made this particular lumen of this trachea is non-collapsible structure. That means this particular is not collapsing whenever it is not holding air or not. So this is a non-collapsible structure. You keep this particular trachea as it is and it will remain as a lumen free lumen with lumen structure, and it remains spated. So if you go on digging on this particular trachea, as far as this competency is concerned, this particular trachea is having a cartilage air passage extending from this larynx to the lungs, and to be specific, it splits at the sternal level and it splits down into subdivisions, and roughly about length of 10 centimeters, wide caliber about 2.5 centimeters, and inner diameter is even less. It divides into two main bronchus, right and left pulmonary bronchus, right and thing, and main thing is that trachea is non-collapsible. Having this particular non-collapsible character helps us to identify whenever you are seeing that particular thing in histology. So this particular element helps. The hallmark for this is that this cartilage helps us to identify. If you see this particular cartilage in the microstructure, it gives just like 100% clue that this particular structure is going to have this particular trachea or respiratory tract cartilage, respiratory tract tube, etc., etc. So this particular element is the hallmark for this particular identification point for this particular trachea itself. Now, if you are just going to study this particular trachea, as I am saying, you are going to make micro dissections of it and going to see staining and going to see under microscope. So, we learn this particular trachea in layers. So, this particular walls of the trachea can be divided or subdivided into 4 subdivisions. So, most inside to outside we have most inner layer, which is made of some cellular element or cell epithelium is resting on it. We call them as mucosa. Deep to mucosa, if we cut this mucosa, we get a layer, we call them as submucosa. And further deeper, we find this particular cartilage element embedded to it, we call them as this particular thing as cartilage, or we call them as tracheal cartilage. Now, this tracheal cartilage has a particular shape, it is incomplete, it is not like a ring, or it is not a 100% 360-degree ring. It is having a deficiency on the posterior side, which is replaced by some muscle, we call them as trachealis. So, some muscle fiber may be present on that particular element on the posterior sides. If you are seeing this whole structures, and most outside is the layer we call them as adventitia. These are the 4 layers inside out. So, this is one thing about identifying feature. It having 4 layers inside out this. This is identification number 1, and emphasizing on this particular layer and the mucosa, this particular thing we will be focusing on. So, we will take each layer at a time and understand what exactly lives on these particular layers and how we are going to identify this organ if it is given in the examination. So, for example, mucosa. This mucosa can be subdivided or subsplit into 3 segments. So, this particular mucosa has a membrane kind of thing. We call this membrane as a basement membrane. Under to membrane, we have some kind of space or some kind of connective tissue element. We call them as lamina propria. So, we have a stage which is made by some kind of membrane, we call them as basement membrane, and under to that basement membrane we have a space, we call them as lamina propria. This lamina propria is basically continuous with this layer which is below, which is submucous. In this particular trachea, this particular submucous layer and this lamina propria are ill defined. We cannot separate that this is a border where this having submucosal layer and having this particular lamina propria layer existing as a borderline. So, we have a very overlapping layer of the mucosal lamina propria with the submucosa, but getting over there, this particular mucosa is having kind of like a membrane, we call them as basement membrane. On top of basement membrane, there are series of the cells which is resting on it. We call them as epithelium. So, this particular epithelium is this particular resting cells which is present on it. So, this particular epithelium is kind of a cell which is making this particular texture of this particular epithelium over there. Along with this particular epithelium, we are going to find some non-epithelial cells other than epithelial cells. So, that is what we are going to see in this particular mucous layer. So, it is lined by a resident cell, we call them a ciliated pseudostratified columnar kind of epithelium. That means 96 to 99% of the cells, they are like this ciliated pseudostratified columnar epithelium. So, each of this particular element matters to us. So, we take this particular pseudostratified columnar epithelium. So, these particular cells, they looks like columns. So, they are vertical like columns, pillars, and these particular pillars are pseudostratified, appears to have multi-layer, but they are not. They are single layer, and because they are curved around, they look like pseudostratified. Some of the cells having some different lengths, not all of them are of same size pillar. Some of them are short, some of them are taller, like they are placed over there in this particular columns, and having this particular different lengths, the nucleus lies on different heights. So, that gives a look on into this particular epithelium layer. As it is, they have multi layers, but they are not. They are single layer cells, but the column length are different. Having this particular column length different, giving an pseudo appearance of having multi layers. That means more than one layer stacked one after another, but in truly there is a single layer cells which is resting on the same basement membrane. And on top of these particular cells or pseudostratified columnar epithelium cells, we have a spike. That spike is known as cilia. So, these are kind of like flags which is present in the top of this particular pseudostratified columnar epithelium. So, they are lining or carpeting the basement membrane with this 95 or more than that, this kind of cells are there. So, these cells are kind of like a identifying feature about this is a ciliated pseudostratified epithelium. This is exist on the basement membrane. Apart from that, we have some kind of non-epithelial cells. What are the non-epithelial cells? They are cells present as mucous cells, brush cells, small granule cells, basal cells. So these are the other cells which is constituting of 3% or less than 3% of the cells which are present on this particular trachea. This is one. And all these particular cells are resting on something that what we call them as basement membrane. It is quite thick. That particular basement thick membrane is having an elastic feature, which is resting on it is this particular cells. And under to this basement membrane, we have kind of like connective tissue space. We call them as lamina propria. This lamina propria is continuous with this next layer or deeper layer. We call them a submucous layer. The submucous layer and the lamina propria, we cannot separate it out, right? Now, moving from this particular mucosa or this first layer, going to this deep layer, submucosa. So, submucosa is filled up with blood vessel, lymphatics, and some kind of spaces which is present on it. So, which is having this layer which is lying on deep to the mucosa, we call them a submucosal layer. Now, this submucosa is continuous with this, the third layer of this particular epithelium, we call them as lamina propria. Next, we have this third layer. After this mucosa, we have this layer, we call them as tracheal cartilage layer. So, this particular tracheal cartilage is posteriorly replaced by the trachealis muscle. So, this particular tracheal ring, which is having a roughly C-shaped cartilage rings, which is posteriorly reinforced by a smooth muscle, we call them as trachealis. So, this is a kind of like a tracheal ring which is present on into this third layer, which is made of a particular type of cartilage, we call them as hyaline cartilage, which looks like a glossy. Hyalines means glass, that means the glass which is placed on these windows. That particular glass, which is frosted glass kind of look it has. So, this particular thing we call them as hyaline cartilage which is present in it. So, this is the thing which is helps us to identify this particular cartilage, and cartilage cells or cartilage cell nucleuses are even can be seen within this particular element. Now, third and after this third layer, most outside layer, we call them as connective tissue layer. We call them as fibroelastic connective tissue. That means some fibrous element, some elastic element present on it. We call them as adventitia, most outside there, where this particular blood vessel from outside permeates through and supplies it, as well as nerves are there. So, if you see this particular thing in a schematic way, this thing should be looking like this. So, this is the cavity of the trachea, that is what you are seeing, and after this cavity we have this layer. This is the living cell layer. This is the epithelium cell layer. So, this particular epithelium is 95 to 99% is occupied by the epithelium cells. The cells which is present in it, we call them as columnar kind of cells. These columnar cells assume or presume like a layer which is known as pseudostratified, that means multi-layer, but they are not layered as multi-layer. They are single layer stratified, but appears to be multi-layer, that is why they call them as pseudostratified. And this particular cell looks like a tall cell, that is why we call them as columnar epithelium cells, and they have a spike on their apical part, we call them as cilia. So, this ciliated pseudostratified epithelium, they are present in this particular layer. They are resting on the membrane, we call them as basement membrane. Deep to that we have the lamina propria, which is continuous with this particular layer which is lying deep to it, we call them a submucous layer. The submucous layer having some kind of space occupied by blood vessels, nerves, lymphatic glands which are present in it. If you go farther deep, we find this particular third layer which helps us to identify this particular element as the cartilage tissue existing on it. It is a kind of cartilage, we call them as hyaline cartilage. This particular hyaline cartilage is an incomplete cartilage having a look like C or semicircular in shape and replaced by this particular trachealis muscle on the posterior side. And then finally, we have this most outside layer, we call them as adventitia, which is outside to it. So, we have 4 layers existing, 1, 2, 3 and 4. These 4 layers we have to look into whenever you are seeing this. So, this particular layer matters to us, and this is how it looks like schematically. But again, for this you have to remember this particular basic things about this trachea. You cannot just forget about these basic facts, whatever is charted over here. It has a mucosa layer number 1. This mucosa is made of living cells. These cells, lining cells, what kind of cells is existing on it, that what you have to remember. And then we have this basement membrane and lamina propria, which is occupied or continuous with the submucous layer. Submucous layer, nothing special about it, contains some kind of glands, some kind of like lymphatics, blood vessels, etc., etc., which is resting on it. This particular submucosal blood vessels, lymphatics, they feed these particular cells which is resting on it. They give the nutritions to this. They take this particular lymphatics from it. So this submucosa is basically feeding this mucosa or living cells. Under to it we have this cartilage layer. This cartilage layer is made of hyaline cartilage. This hyaline cartilage having a particular look that looks like a frosted glass, and most outside adventitia. This is about, in short, about this trachea in histosection of this trachea. Now, how this particular trachea will be looking schematically in this. So, this is again schematically how it looks like. So, this particular layer, this is the lumen of this trachea, that is what you are seeing. This most inside layer is this one. So, makes this layer is mucus layer. Then you have this submucous layer. Then you have this particular cartilage layer. Then you have this adventitia layer. So, you have to find this particular 1, 2, 3, 4 layers whenever you are seeing this. Especially this one, third one is easy to identify. What you can do, you identify third one, just under to it will be layer number 2, and most outside will be layer number 1, and then outside to it, it's like this. So, this is the way you can just like go on going for these particular layers. So, this particular layer is this particular cellular layer which is fitted with this ciliated pseudostratified columnar epithelium, and this particular columnar epithelium interspaced by some non-epithelial cell, we call them as goblet cells or mucus secreting cells, etc., etc. So, these goblet cells are lubricating cells. They are lubricating this particular surface so that this particular cilia's can freely flow through. If you have a super lubrication, then this cilia will be clogged or flooded, they cannot work properly. That happens in case of the infections. But anyways, going to this particular living cell layer, then we have this particular feeding layer where you have seen these blood vessels, nerve, etc., etc., ending on it. They are supplying these things to this particular trachea, they are supplying this particular blood vessels to this layer as well. So, these are the feeder zone which is existing to it, and top of here we have this cartilage which is existing. What kind of cartilage is present? We have this hyaline cartilage that looks like transparent glass or frosty transparent glass. That is why you call them as hyaline cartilage. They have a covering to it, we call them perichondrium, but there is a detailed thing which is present to it. And then we have this adventitia, most outside layer. So, this is how the schematically it should be looking like. You should be able to figure out these particular layers and the existing on these things. These are the charted thing that we have talked so far. This is how it looks like whenever you are going to see this. This is super zoom, like more than 100x zoomed this one. This is not the exact zooming, but see that this is kind of like the layer which you are seeing here. This layer you have to identify. This is the cartilage layer. This cartilage layer having some kind of cartilage cells which is present in it. So, these cells have got dots in here, that is a nucleus. So, this is a cartilage layer. So, this layer will be submucosa, and this one mucosa. Mucosa having this kind of cells. You cannot see this particular cells that is looking like in 10x magnification. This is more than 100x magnification that we are seeing here. So, this one you have to identify it first, then this one, then this one, and then it makes it easy to go for this adventitia layer. Get it? So, this is the way we are going to figure these things out about this. Identify this one makes your life easy to identify the next 4 layers. So, about this identifying feature about this particular trachea. So, it has lumen or these things which is having cut 4 layers. What are the 4 layers? Inside out, outside, you have to mention that. Out of this particular 4 layers, what this particular 4 layers is consisting of? Mucosa which is having a cell. What kind of cells? You have to mention. Then submucosa contains this. Then we have this particular cartilage layer which is hyaline cartilage, and then we have the adventitia layer. So, this have one feature, second feature, third feature, and that is the end of the story. So, 3 of the identifying fine features that you have to remember, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go and see the microscope. 2 of them are fitted with this particular trachea, 2 of them are having a lung tissues. So, just like a roll through this particular thing, whatever the things you are seeing here, identify it, make a schematic diagram drawing and mention here what you have seen and why you are explaining that. 1 or 2 identifying features that you have to just mention about this. One feature about this particular epithelium, one feature about this particular submucosa, one feature about this cartilage, and that is it about identifying trachea.